All right. Hello, GM. So today I'll be taking you on DeFi. All right. And I promise you, actually, I'm making this promise. I don't promise randomly, but when I promise, I actually mean it. I promise you, you will literally see DeFi in a different light immediately you're done with this course. So if you've been having issues understanding DeFi, I know there's been a whole lot of bogus terms out there. People are using big grammar that you don't understand. Don't worry, my work in your life is to break things down so that even your 5-year-old younger one and your 100-year-old granny will be able to understand. You understand? That's why you really need to pay close attention to each and every word I say because I am literally someone that likes to teach with practical examples, real world, applications, all right? And I mean something you do on a daily. So the fact that you do it helps you understand it. You understand? So let's move into it. What is DeFi? You've been hearing DeFi. You don't know what DeFi is. People are making a whole lot of money. Some people are trading. Some people are doing jobs. Some people are getting paid. Some people have not even. I mean, people like me have not converted a dime. Let's just put it that way. I've not converted a dime to trade. Right? I've not really converted a dime to trade. Each and every money in this space that I have, my thousands of dollars, my tens of dollars, my $1, whatever dollar I have, was literally earned, right? And if you want to know how I earned it, you can literally go through the Web3 jobs course. It's free. You can go through it and understand how exactly I went about it. All right. There are different aspects in this space. You don't have to trade. You understand? You don't have to trade. You don't always have to invest, but you can also make money from investing and trading. All right. So, but it doesn't mean you should not have knowledge about all these things. It's just like when you're in school, you can't say because you want to learn algebra when I mean, you don't know certain mathematical, you don't know 2 plus 2, you don't know 4 plus 4. There is no way you'll be able to understand algebra. There's no way you'll be able to understand calculus. All right. And for you to understand calculus, there's no way you'll be able to for you to understand calculus, you must have understood algebra. Now, I understand some of you are not even mathematics students, so let me explain with something everyone is much familiar with. Um, so, for you to be able to write a full essay in English, you need to understand the different letters we have in English, the different alphabets, the different words. I'm very sure growing up you were taught 2 letter words, 3 letter words. Some of you were even, they told you to go and write as many 2 letter words as you know. They did it for me anyways when I was growing up. Told me to write 4 letter words, 5 letter words, 6 letter words, 10 letter words, you understand? We did spelling bee, we did a whole lot. All right. Now combining all of those now gives a much more bigger view when it comes to writing essay or even constructing simple sentences. The fact that you can communicate, the fact that I can communicate right now is as a result of things you learned in the past. So that was your foundation. All right. And the more you grow, the more you learn more things. So DeFi is the foundation to all these things. You can't do jobs if you don't understand DeFi. All right. Now, let me really explain it because sometimes you hear me say, oh, I started jobs without DeFi and the rest. Doesn't mean I didn't know things in DeFi like that too. You understand? So at least, and as I was advancing, as I was making more money, I was learning. I saw the need to learn. You understand? I shared in one of my classes, one of my live classes, I shared how I was very, very, okay, I was very stupid. I'll use the word stupid because back then, I mean, I can tell it as a story now, when I was paid my very first $50, all right, when I was paid my very first $50, I didn't know that the money had entered. I was paid in BUSD, back then when BUSD was still, in the whole stuff. I was paid in BUSD. All right. BUSD means Binance United States dollars. All right. I'll teach you about all of this. You understand? We have our own currencies here, and they are tradable for real life cash and whatnot. So I was paid my very first $50, and I didn't know where it was. Now, if I had the knowledge of DeFi back then, I would have known where it went to. I would have known that, oh, it was sent. I would have been able to even see it on the blockchain. I would have been able to see without having to ask, Alpha, you don't send my money. Have you sent my money? This, that, this, that. Do you understand? So the fact that I was not able to know, all right, showed that I needed to learn DeFi. All right. Do you know it was crazy that I had to go and cause nuisance in the community? Like I was like, this dev, you've not paid me, you've not paid me. And the dev, I think after 2 days, the dev got tired of me, was like, bro, what the hell is wrong with you? I wish I still had that. I wish I still have that conversation. I think I don't have that account anymore. I think it's probably been banned or something, but I think I still have some of my previous conversations. Anyways, I'll show you guys probably in the jobs class or something, but I'm just sharing this to you to know, the importance of learning DeFi. All right. And so that you don't look stupid, you don't disgrace yourself out there. You understand? When the dev tell you go and understand white paper, let's say you get a job and then they say go and read the white paper, understand what the project is. It will not be um it will not be like rocket science to you. All right. You already know what you're looking at. You know what certain terms entail. You know what swaps are. If they ask you what is this project building, you can't say because you don't understand DeFi. You understand? But at the end of all these things I'm going to teach you, you would be able to understand and do your job properly, all right? This should be able to help those of you that are using the free strategies I've given in the jobs aspect, you understand, so that you'll be able to secure. I want you to be able to secure your very first job. All right. I won't be spending much energy in doing all of this if it's not something that works. All right. It works, it is tested, trusted by thousands, sorry, not millions. By God's grace, we get to millions. But it is tested and trusted by thousands, all right, thousands of my students actually that I've trained. All right. So I think in the jobs class in one of the sessions, I'll show you guys some of the I think I can even show you guys here. Let me see. I can show you here. Let me see. Okay, before we do this. Um okay. So let's go to X and then I'll show you. Let me show you one. There's a whole lot, but I think it's OPEX Institute. All right, so this is my institute, all right, School of Learning, School of Excellence, and my very first institute before I started running Rebet. All right, and so I want to show you, yes, very good. So Larry hit his very first million via our Web3 free course, and he was less than 18 years old rather. If you're more than 18 years here, you have no excuse actually. If you're less than 18 years, you still don't have any excuse because I think the youngest person in my institute right now is, I think, 16 years, and the oldest person in my institute is 49 years, there about 49, 50. I don't know how old that man is, but I know he's probably the oldest, and because I have a personal relationship with him, and he's doing well. And I think I even have someone that is also a father, father of many, and he's doing well. I think he's also on our TikTok. His testimony is on our TikTok. You can check it. So let's quickly look at this guy before we jump into our class. So he was like, uh, he joined in 2020, 2021, free class on Telegram. He has gotten about 30 jobs, made about 1 million plus. You understand? So I think if I wish I was able to access my WhatsApp here. I would have shown you something more recent, so that because some people might say, oh, no, it's been a long time now. Is that back then? Things are not as it is. This, that, this, that. No, my brother, people are still making crazy from this free course, I'm telling you. You understand? So at least it's better you're even putting your time into learning this free course and then applying it than you're wasting your time, doing random things that is not giving you any productive stuff, or you're just watching TikTok wasting data. Or don't get me wrong, I'm not saying TikTok is wrong or TikTok is bad. Some people make shitload of money from TikTok, but I mean, between me and you, we know that we know that you're not making money from it. So stop deceiving yourself and move into something that will actually be worth your time. All right. I mean, if you look at this guy, say second, in the second, seconds screenshot. It was showing how much he made and the rest. And I was like, okay, let's see how the advanced class will be. All right. Like I always say, I'm not looking for you to come and join my advanced class or whatnot. You understand? Because it will stress my head if you don't know all these things I'm telling you in the free class, and then you're not coming to the advanced class as someone that's completely new. You understand? Even if you come to the advanced class, I will still tell you go and take the free course because you need to understand all this. You understand? So, and I mean, you are coming to my advanced class as somebody that is already, that has gone far to an extent. But even if you've not gone far, you can still take the advanced course and the rest. So, but I'm not here to show you the advanced course. I'm here to actually point to you all these things about DeFi and the rest. So, let's quickly get back into what we have. Let's get back into what we have. So I'm going to present this again. So I'll present. So let's do this. Why is it not presenting? Why is something going wrong? Okay. Should work now. Let's see. All right. Present. Good. Now, what is DeFi? If you're hearing DeFi, 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 what is DeFi? All right. DeFi is, I have here, you can write if you want to write. All right. It's one of the fastest growing sectors in the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry. Look, listen, if you know me, you know that I'm one person that I don't like big grammar. I don't like things that confuse laymen. All right. Because I mean, it once confused me and I found my way around it. All right. I mean, by the grace of God, I'm self taught. And along the line, I started joining a couple other paid classes and the rest. And I was able to now build my knowledge for me to be able to pour out to you guys so that you don't, the journey will not be as tough as it was for me when I was starting out. You understand? So I'm going to break down these terms, things like DeFi, terms like blockchain, all right, terms like blockchain, DeFi, cryptocurrency. What else is here that you don't know? You know what money is now. You know what financial services is. You know what banks are. You know what traditional institutions are and the rest. So traditional institutions are similar to banks and the rest. So all these things are literally terms I'll be breaking down. But I mean, DeFi is literally a way of doing money now. Is just like over the time money has been growing along the line. I think there's an outline where I'll teach you the history of money, history of Bitcoin and the rest and all those things to tell you why what DeFi is really doing and why we're now looking into DeFi, cryptocurrency, Web3, the whole stuff. You understand? I mean, at some point, starting age, we're using cowries. Our forefathers, they were using cowries and all those things. They were doing barter. They were doing trade by barter. I think at some point I used to see, I was seeing memes where people will say, I'll collect my laptop, I'll give you my laptop in exchange for spaghetti. I think I used to see those kind of memes, and uh, it explains barter system properly. You give something in exchange for something. You understand? But at some point, people are like, what if what you have is not what I want? What if what I want is not what you have? That kind of thing started bringing problems, and then money started coming up, paper money, like that. They entered, gold, blah, blah, blah. They entered actual cash. And now they entered fiat. All right. When we get to evolution, I'll teach you guys these things properly. All right. They entered fiat. And then now we're now in a situation whereby, or let's say, an era whereby Bitcoin is now trying to surpass the fiat. All right, Bitcoin, crypto, trying to surpass the fiat. All right, people want to start using crypto, Bitcoin to trade and exchange. You understand? I think I recently saw a bill that I don't know I don't know how legit that bill is being passed by the government. You understand? That they want to collect a certain amount of tax, I think like 20% or something. And I'm like, what if I don't even have anything to do with the naira, the system? As long as you are, they're saying as long as you're a citizen of that country, of the country, you have to pay 20% of your tax. You understand? So it means if I'm making whatever I'm making from whatever I'm making, I must pay that tax. That tax, and it's crazy. You understand? Because you don't have a choice to pay it. And I pray God touches their mind to actually have mercy on us and the rest. So this is why you're being taught DeFi, being your own, having control of your finances, being your own bank and your banker. You understand? Now, our fight is not with the government. All right. Don't get me wrong. Our fight is not with the government. Our fight is with the banks, the banking system. You understand? If the banking system were to be as what we wanted, 100%, we won't be fighting with them. We'll be having issues with them. We won't be saying, oh, why are you freezing my money? Why are you freezing my account? Why are you this? Why are you that? We won't always have to go to the bank, waiting for them to open the next day by 8 a.m. Once they close 4 p.m., even 4:01, they will not allow you to enter the bank. You understand? That is why our fight is with them. But like, make these things easy for us. Like, let things be automated. Let people have access to, more features, a whole lot of, features and the rest. So that is why DeFi is now coming to take over Web3, blockchain, crypto, everything. You understand? So, moving on, don't worry, I'm going to break down all these things. All right. What is DeFi? DeFi is like a digital financial system that is not controlled by a bank or a banker. It is not, take note. I should have probably highlighted some of the things. It's a digital financial system that is not controlled by a bank or a company. The meaning of DeFi is, or will I say the full meaning of DeFi, decentralized finance. All right. In the course of the class, I'm going to break down the meaning of decentralized. Decentralized means nobody owns it. Nobody owns it. It's like it is not owned by any government, any bank, any entity. It is literally just there. All right. You own it. You understand? And there's something I always say, and I want you to take note of it. So whenever you just be like, oh, Sakechi used to say this thing. Look, let me give you a very good scenario, all right? Or if there's a good quote or something, all right? See, DeFi is like fire. Oh, see, you guys should listen to me. DeFi is like fire. Hmm? If you use fire well, hmm, the fire will cook your food. Fire helps you live. All right. Fire is life too. Because fire gives you warmth. You understand? After the whole process and the rest and blah blah. But let's now face the food aspect. Fire helps you prepare your food. The diverse types of dishes we have, we cannot prepare it without heat, without fire. You understand? But I'll tell you something. Even that same fire, if you don't control it, it can what? Burn your house. It can burn. Let's not even go as far as house. It can burn your food. If you don't off it when you're supposed to off it, if you don't take care of it, if you don't time it, if you don't, come to always control it, check it, let your attention shall be on it. You understand? Control it, even if you're not there. You understand? Control it so that it doesn't damage things, so that you don't lose things. All right. Now we're not liking it to DeFi and the rest. You understand? DeFi is not necessarily about damage. We're talking loss. It's more of loss when things get out of hand. You don't control it. You don't do the necessary steps you're supposed to take. And see, this scenario I just gave you is if I say I want to end this session right now, I know that you've learned what DeFi is all about right now with this scenario I just gave. You understand? So when you're asked, just give it like DeFi is like fire. When they ask you, like, oh, remember what Sakesi said? DeFi is like fire. If you use it well, it will cook your food for you. But if you don't use it well, if you don't control it, it will burn your house, burn your food, burn your certificates, burn everything. And you'll be left with what? Nothing. You understand? So you need to learn how to control it yourself, because now you have said the bank should stop controlling. The bank are the ones that used to help you control. The banks are the ones that control your assets and the rest. Now you're saying you want to now be your own bank and your banker. You don't want all those, bankers inside the bank to be answering you and all those things. Some of them are even quite rude. You're tired of their, rude services. You're tired of their slow services. You understand? You go to bank, you be queuing up. You want to sit down at the back, they'll give you a number of 100. I remember back in COVID and the rest, when I went to the bank one time and they gave me a number of 150. I was at the back of 150 person. I had to go to my house, come back by around 2 p.m. because I went as early as 8 a.m. When I came back, I was still, I think about 105 people had entered. So I still had like 45 people in front of me. It was crazy. You understand? But if everyone understood DeFi and everyone understood how to do DeFi, smart contracts, and the rest, they understood that smart contract would help them. You understand? Nobody would literally, come out to be doing all those long process and the rest. You get? So this is what you need to understand about this whole DeFi thing that everybody is saying that you're like, what is this DeFi? What is this DeFi? So I hope that explanation, or will I say that case study, has literally what helped you understand, this thing. Now, accessibility, all right, accessibility. Anyone with the internet can use DeFi. So long as you have your data on, you can use DeFi. You don't need to visit any physical bank or meet specific requirements. Underline that if you're writing. Anybody with the internet can use DeFi. You can DeFi from your room, you can DeFi from your house, you can DeFi from your church, you can DeFi from wherever you are. Wherever you are. You can't say, oh, until I see Access Bank, until I see Bank of America, until I see what was all this bank, UBA, until I see Zenith before I'll be able to do transactions. Oh, my funds are stuck. They say I should come to the bank. This, that, this, that. You now start looking for bank. No. All these things is done online. All right. So long as you're with the internet, you can what? DeFi. You don't need to visit any physical bank or what? Use or meet any specific requirement. Now, I'm already talking about what the characteristics of DeFi. So you can probably target the characteristics of DeFi. All right. Now, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Control. You have control over your money. You have full control over your money and financial decisions. You understand? There are no middlemen like banks making decisions for you. We'll still get into some of all these things, you understand, just for you to understand everything I'm saying properly. All right. You literally have control over your own money. The money is your own. Now you literally work for it. Now you hustle, get the whole money. You understand? So you literally have money, control over that money. You can decide who you want to give your money, who has access to your money. Imagine you were with your money in cash in your wallet. You understand? And then someone comes to take your money. How will you feel? You want to blow the head of the person, or you want to be like, bro, what's your problem? Why would you come and take my money? That's literally theft. Taking what does not belong to you is theft. You understand? You understand? So why I'm smiling right now is because I just remembered something that I used to say. I used to say something like there's a difference between stealing and taking what does not but I'm not saying she go and take what does not belong to you. Please don't go and take what does not belong to you. So let's focus. Let's focus. Now, you have full control over your money and your financial decisions. If you decide to buy a land today, it's your decision. If you decide to buy a car, it's your decision. If you decide to throw your money away, if you decide to go to club and waste your money, if you like whatever you want to do, if you decide to help the whole community, the masses, you want to do Onyoma CY, you want to become a very good community person and be giving money anyhow. It's your money. I mean, nobody is going to tell you what to do with your money. It's literally you taking your financial decisions. You understand? But sometimes you see banks. If you say bank has control over your money, they will come so that they'll be giving you advice. They say, oh yeah, come and invest this, come and lock up your money so that you'll not be able to touch your money. Come and this, come and that, blah blah blah. Cheaper piggy vest, this, that. You understand? These guys literally still have control over your money. You understand? So let's move forward. All right. There are no middlemen making decisions for you. So some of you might ask, if there are no middlemen, what is now facilitating this thing that you understand that now helps me take control of my money? You get? We'll still get there. We'll still get there. In the DeFi space, we call them intermediaries. We call them facilitators, not intermediaries. It's the banking system that have intermediaries. Intermediaries mean like people that they're in the middle. They're trying to help bring a particular solution between two parties. All right. So I mean, you guys know the meaning of that. So We don't have that in the DeFi space. People in the middle and the rest, and we only have facilitators. We call them facilitators. They help. They help you fulfill your dreams. You understand? But these ones, middlemen, sometimes they don't help you fulfill your dreams. They just find a balance, and sometimes they even do what they even want to do without your consent. Now, the next point is global and fast. You can send and receive money globally, and transactions happen quickly. It happens 247 without relying on bank hours. Now, take note of these things I just said. You can send and receive money globally. With the banking system, you can't just send money globally. Like, you can't just wake up one morning and say you want to send money like that to somebody on the other side of the world. There are processes you have to go through, a whole lot of process. But I ask you a question. Some of you might defend. If we really made this in a debate, some people might want to even defend and say, "Oh, they still prefer bank and the rest." Now, let me tell you something. What if there was a sort of emergency situation? Now, emergency sometimes doesn't have to be life and death. Don't get me wrong. Emergencies doesn't have to be life and death. Some emergencies might be probably emergency of you are supposed to travel somewhere and then you got stranded. You now call your brother to help you send money, and probably your brother is on the other side of the world. Probably bank froze your account and then you got stranded. Now call your brother. Now that's not life and death. That's literally what will I say life happened to you. You understand? Will I say bank happened to you? You get? Or what if it's a situation whereby you finally got to a particular room or a particular place you've always wanted to get to, but then when you now got there, you now discover that the requirement is way more than you can afford. All right, but you have people that can help you when you call on them. Now, what now happens when you call on them and then they can't transfer to you at that point? You get? This is where DeFi comes into place. If you had called them, oh, and you had a wallet, you understand, they could have just sent you $1,000 in Bitcoin or $1,000 in form of Ethereum. All right, automatically you receive it and then you make use of it. You get? So we are getting to that time when things will be like this. If you just call me and say, "Oh, Sakesi, I'm stranded. I need food. I need this," I'll say, "Yeah, send me your wallet." You understand? I'll send you one Solana. I'll send you one. No, I'll not send you one Ethereum. Okay, one Ethereum. Ethereum is a whole lot of money for just to eat. So, I mean, we're getting to that time whereby you want to buy corn on the street, you want to buy something from the malam, from the we'll call them abuki and the rest. You understand? And you don't. I mean, we don't have cash, so you just man, I'll tell you, come on, I accept crypto, and you'll be shocked. Don't worry, we're getting to that time. We're getting to that time. So you need to evolve. All right, let your mindset evolve to the fact that DeFi is taking over. All right, DeFi is taking over the whole finance space now. It happens 247. It's not like the banking hours where it's not like the banking system where there are hours from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and banking too is just Mondays to Fridays. So on Saturday and Sunday, what will happen? I'll know. I mean, what if the thing that is making me go to the bank on those weekdays is actually something that happened on a Saturday? So that means I have to wait till Monday. Come on. Or what if it happened at 5 p.m. on Friday? That means I have to wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 a.m. I'll wait another 24 hours again till Sunday. Wait another 24 hours again till Monday. And I'm only breaking down all these things properly so that you can enjoy it and then see sense in what DeFi has to offer. Should in case it's your first time coming upon all these things, do you understand? So DeFi is just like a whole new world. All right, it's a whole new world. Now let's move on. Let's move on. So transparency. DeFi is as transparent as it can be. It is as transparent as anything. All right. In the course of the class, I'll teach you what really makes all these things transparent. Because some of you might be curious. I know there are very intelligent people amongst you guys. Even, I mean, as you're listening to me right now, I know someone is currently thinking, okay, what is making all these things transparent? Well, how are they really doing it? How? You're fond of questioning things, and it's a very good thing actually. It's a very good thing if you're someone that likes questioning things. So let's run. I think time is behind us, so I don't make this thing too long because of the thing about attention span, human attention span. They say on attention span, no, they pass 50 minutes, an average human. So I try to make this stuff less than 30 minutes at most safe. So yeah, transparency. All transactions are recorded on a public ledger. Now, take note of the keywords: recorded on a public ledger. Public ledger. All right. So you can easily see where your money goes. In the course of the class, I'll teach you these terms, like the meaning of all these terms: ledger, what makes this whole transparency stuff happen. All right. But one thing I want you to know is that you can see your money. If somebody says he's sending you, like now, the example I gave, your brother on the other side of the world that needs your help, all right? If your brother says, send me $1,000 and then you send it to him, okay? Your brother can easily check whether you've sent it. It's not like the banking system whereby someone has to send you a receipt and then you're not even sure if the bank has processed it. Because sometimes that receipt might show successful, but it has not gotten to the end of the person you get. And there's no way you can monitor it. You have to just depend on the bank. So DeFi helps you to be independent, all right, so that you can literally see what is happening by yourself. You can see everything happening. All right. You can literally see just like you're doing an order, you're sending something, you ordered something on Jumia, and then the thing is coming to you. You can probably using Bolt or Uber, it's coming to you. You can monitor the progress of the driver, where the driver is at any time. You understand? So that's literally how this whole tech runs. Like you can see where your money is going. You can see whether your money has arrived on the other wallet. And if somebody is trying to send you money, you can easily verify if the person has sent the money or not, or the person is trying to scam you. Because I tell you, there are scams in this space. As much as we're trying to make a living, there are some people that are working extra time to collect our money from us. All right. And they are bloody scammers. Yes. So you need to be smarter than them. You understand? You need to really be smarter than them. You get somebody will tell you, oh, I've sent you one Bitcoin. And then you say, if you just see one flash on your wallet, bam, and you're thinking you've seen the one Bitcoin, but in the real sense, the person has scammed you. And then probably you have to sell your car for one Bitcoin. And then you now want to give your car. Once your car has gone, bro, if you release your car, if you release the key and whatnot, the car has gone. Why? Because you failed to verify that the person actually sent that money. It's not just enough that the thing is reflecting on your wallet. You need to also verify that because sometimes this thing will reflect and then it will just wipe off. People have not heard of that kind of thing. That be okay, we'll still get there. I think it even happens in the normal finance world, whereby somebody will send you money. It'll be like as if they sent you credit alert, but it's not reflecting your balance or something. So I mean, the DeFi world has made it easy for you to be able to verify all these things. Now let's move on. Innovation. DeFi offers new, often more dynamic services, financial services, and opportunities, such as what high yield savings and investment options. I like this very part because I mean, many of us well, I say we are victims of this thing I'm about to say. How many of you, the bank they've taken your money and then they've told you that, bro, we're taking your money. Oh. They will never tell you. But in the real sense, they're taking your money. You get? They're actually taking your money. What you're just seeing there is figures. What you're just seeing in your bank app or whatever is just figures. It's what they want you to see. You get? They're actually taking your money, using it to do transactions. And the funny thing, you see, I'm not after the fact whether you're taking my money. Or two things I just want you to do. Number one, tell me when you take it. Number two, let us come to an agreement. If you're taking my money, this is how much you have to pay me. This is that. Because I'm literally helping you. You guys are helping the bank. We're all helping the banks. So they owe us that obligation to tell us, okay, this is what they're doing this is what they're using the money to do, and this is how much they're going to pay us. But the funny thing is, they just do whatever they like. They pay you peanuts. You see bank taking, you have like 1 million in your account, your UBA account, take for instance, and then UBA, they're taking your money. And then at the end of the day, you probably see like 1,000 naira. You see the right interest or something. I mean, I know many of you listening to me right now have experienced it. You understand? And then they just tell you, oh, interest. Imagine giving me 1,000 naira after a long period of time that it took my 1 million. And then you give me 1,000. What the hell? What the hell? So in DeFi, we have better opportunities, all right, where if you want to even release your money, you make more. All right, you make more. I'm not talking things like real estate, because real estate probably tell you before you even make 100% of your money to take a very long time, all those kind of things, depending on the type of real estate you're doing anyways. You understand? But in the DeFi world, you can make I mean, we call it sometimes APY, APR and the rest. So you can make crazy yield returns. All right, your investment can yield returns. You understand? So we'll get into that in the course of the class, and we'll get into that in the course of the class. So how many before this stuff ends? So I think we still have about okay, still have about six. Good, and then we'll finally go to blockchain. So in the next class, we'll talk about blockchain. All right, so let's rush. Let's rush. So now, high yield savings. Some DeFi platforms offer higher interest rates on savings compared to traditional banks. Okay, they literally like just what I just said now, higher interest rates on savings. If you want to save your money, let's say fine. You finally the difference between what I said previously and this one now is the fact that you decided now to give the bank your money in this case, but you're not giving them based on you're helping them. You're giving them based on you want to save, right? You want to save, you want them to hold your money for you. You guys have come to a consensus. All right, you've come to an agreement that okay, well, they've told you that okay, this is what they will pay you. You come and save with them at the end of the day. These are this that. DeFi offers more, all right, and you're not losing your money. It offers more. You understand? So, like I said, remember what I said. DeFi is like fire. If you use it well, it cook your food. If you don't use it well, it's burn your house. So the next thing is banks. All right. Okay, I have the definition. It says banks are traditional institutions where you keep your money and access. I mean, we all know what banks are, so let's not waste time on that. Let's keep moving. Okay. I think it's more like trying to compare banking and DeFi, like the traditional industry, the banking world compared to that of DeFi. So let's look into the banking world, It says for the banks, you have to visit a physical bank or use their online services, and you may need to meet certain requirements. We are aware of all these things. They tell you bring your BVM, bring your this, bring your that, bring your NEPA bill, bring your this. You have to be you have to be so years old. If not, you go and create student account or you go and create kids account. You have to be if you are already an adult, you have to this, many of all these things, and then it's a whole lot. They're just trying to do their work. Some of them they're doing it because of security. Actually, they're trying to know that you are actually who you are. You understand? Because some people use this DeFi platform to scam. You understand? So then you want to talk about privacy. While banks offer privacy, they also handle your personal information and transactions. Okay, so the banks have your personal information, but in the DeFi space, nobody they don't have your personal information. All right, you are literally anonymous. Okay, now anonymity can be good, it can be bad. All right, for the scammers, is bad when they want to be anonymous because sometimes it's hard to track. It's hard to track. That's why these guys want to have your information. The governments, the banks, they want to have your information so that if anything goes wrong, you'll be able to track the scammer. But in this case now that nobody is giving their information and the rest, so if anything happens, you're on your own. That's why they said. That's why I said DeFi is like fire. You can use it to cook your food. At the same time, that same fire, if you're not careful, can burn your house. So you need to just know how to protect your funds, protect yourself using the proper steps and guidelines. You understand? So many of us have been in this space for years now. We know the good, we know the bad, we know the so I mean, you are privileged to even have courses like this, people like me teaching you on all these things you get. So just I hope you're learning. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on. So finally, I think this is the last one. Uh, okay, this is the last one, and then we'll call it a day. Now we have traditional services. Banks provide traditional services such as savings, accounts, and loans. All right. Banks want to give you loans, savings accounts, and the rest you get, you know. Yeah. So then we also have lower interest rates. Banks often offer lower interest rates on savings compared to some DeFi options. All right. So everything is just related to the whole DeFi is better than bank in terms of all the returns and the rest you get. But it's just that sometimes bank is quite safer. You get when it comes to so now you choose your they say you choose your what is that popular term? Choose your own fire. Okay. Yeah, choose your die. All die na die. So choose your die. So banks safer, but a whole lot of limitation, a whole lot of problems and the rest. DeFi, you are your own security man. You don't need a security man. You're your own soldier. You're your own police. You are taking care of yourself as a soldier. You take care of yourself as a police. all right? And at the same time, you're being a pastor. At the same time, you're being a small boy that just wants to be pampered. At the same time, you're being an agbalagba. You understand? So everything is just in one. So everything has been handed down to you. Okay. So let's quickly run through some summaries and all these things, everything that has been said so far. All right. So I said you don't need to walk into the bank. You don't need to beg for permission or wait for hours to the next day or whatever for you to be able to send your money or make complaints or whatnot. You understand? So DeFi is usually open to everyone. It's open to everyone. You get. And number two, banks take your money without your permission and they pay you peanuts. Like I've said, this is just summary of everything I've been saying. You get. I'm just summarizing everything in bullet points. You get. All right. So banks take your money without your permission, but in DeFi, everything is your own, and you make more money if you decide to release your money, for much investment and the rest. You control your own funds in your wallet. Okay, that's number three. Number four, access is global. Like I said in the starting paragraphs, I think I just mentioned it somewhere. Access is literally global from anywhere. All right, you can literally access it from anywhere in the world. Okay, so it's global and it's very fast. Okay, transactions are transparent. All right, that's number five. Transactions are transparent. Okay, you can see everything. I spoke about that. I think around transparency here, you can see your money, you can see everything. It's transparent. Okay, all right. Now, oh my God, sorry, give me a sec. Sorry, I just discovered that my device wanted to go off, and I did not plug it, so I just plugged it anyways. Now, I missed all the sugar coating and everything. Me, nobody said I try sugar coat and I'm trying to, you understand. Let me tell you some of the things you need to understand as well, the bad side of it. All right. I think I've given you about 5 points. Should I still give you more? Let me still give you more. Number six, we have facilitators in the DeFi space, but in the banking space, there are more of intermediaries. So we're trying to eliminate the intermediaries and bring more facilitators. Okay. Now, some of you might wonder what now eliminates these intermediaries and so the use of smart contracts. Along the line, I'll explain deeply what smart contracts are, right? So smart contracts in layman terms is just like they say, let me give you an instance. You and somebody now you are betting, right? You want to like I think EPL just started now, the Premier League stuff. And you're betting that Liverpool will beat Bournemouth, right? Liverpool will beat Bournemouth. Now you're dropping 5,000 naira or $5,000, depending on how rich you are. You understand? You guys are saying, you put drop 5,000, whatever currency you get. Now you need a middleman, okay? To like you don't need a middleman to be partial. You don't need nepotism. You don't need whatnot. You need the middleman to do what he's supposed to do, which is what? Immediately Liverpool beats Bournemouth, release my money. Or the other person saying, immediately Bournemouth beats Liverpool, release my money. I don't want to hear any emotional stuff. I don't want to hear story. I don't want to later come and be a negotiation, whatnot. I just need the agreement. All right. That is what smart contracts helps you do. If you say, oh yeah, do this, do that, smart contracts will help you do it immediately without any emotion, any nothing. All right. So smart contract is literally the executor. Okay. So it helps you execute these things. Okay, so in time to come, we would understand more about smart contracts. I'm telling you, you will understand this thing in the best way possible. All right, in ways that you've never understood. I know many of you, when they mention smart contract to you before now, probably be thinking, one kind of buggy stuff, one kind of boogie stuff, one kind of very hard concept, one kind is a whole lot to understand. These are technical things. I'm telling you, ERC, many things, this, that, you understand? But I'll break it down to you in the best way possible, you understand, so that you'll be able to relate it to your real life thing. And the goal is to make you see sense in everything I'm saying. You get I love it when people see sense in what I say. So I try to relate it to whoever I'm trying to relate to. That's the joy of teaching. You get. In my business class, I used to teach people how to teach. I'm like, you need to learn how to come down to the level of that person. You understand? That's one of the greatest qualities of teachers. Understand people you're talking to, and they're coming down to the level. So in this case, I've understood one common thing about everybody that will probably be listening to me right now. All right. That's why I'm using this style to teach. So let's move on. Let's move on. Now some of you might say, okay, what then do they collect from us in this whole stuff? How do we pay things? Bank collects charges. They probably collect 10 naira, 5 naira, 15 naira. Oh, they don't even collect 5 naira, they collect 15 naira. All right. But in this DeFi world, you pay gas fees. These gas fees are like fuel, all right, fuel to help you keep processing your transactions. And they are very, very minimal compared to the bank. All right, very, very minimal, less than $1, zero to 0.00 something you get. So um that's number what? How many now? I think I've lost count too. But many of these, some of them I'm saying it from my head, and some I'm just at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's number 8. Okay. So number nine, you need to understand that there is no DeFi without security. Okay. There is no DeFi without what security. Okay. So normally I don't even I don't use materials to teach, so I'm just doing it for your good so that you can actually see what I'm teaching, and then we don't keep beating back around the bush. DeFi is a whole lot. When I teach DeFi jobs, I don't use books to teach. You get, but DeFi is a lot. So you can go and be talking about one story and then get lost in the whole stuff, and then you forget that you've not explained one concept, and then it now affects the person that you're trying to explain it to in the long run. So yeah, now let's quickly talk about the risks. This is what people will not tell you about DeFi. Everything has risk in this life. Everything has risk in this life. You understand? But you can manage your risk. Remember, I'll still sing it again. DeFi is like fire. If you use it well, it will cook your food. If you don't use it well, it will burn your house. Okay? Now, number one, smart contracts. The thing I told you about that your guy and the rest, you telling smart contract to execute certain things. If that smart contract has issues, if you use the wrong smart contract, if it has bugs, both you and your guy, your money will be lost. That your $5,000, your money will be lost. So if there are bugs in the smart contract, all right, or if the code has a mistake, all right, the money can be stolen. That's why we have auditors, we have audit units and the rest that make sure that, oh, these contracts and these things are actually, void of mistakes and errors and the rest. You are good to go. You get. So that's why you really need to study all these things, to understand them, to know the right things from the wrongs. All right. Now the next point is scams and rug pulls. Okay. Some people are fake. That I just said now. These wrongs, the bad smart contract things are created by people. All right. So there are bad people out there. There are bad actors out there. When they create this whole thing, they create it with the intention of probably wanting to suck your money, take your money and the rest. We call it rock pool. All right. Rock pool when they probably give you a project to invest in, and then the dev now just either takes out liquidity or something you get, or creates a honeypot. You understand? Some of all these things, you understand it in time to come. I don't want to bombard your head with a whole lot right now, but just know that some projects are fake and they disappear with people money. Just know that one. You understand? So let's move on. There's volatility here too. You understand? The prices of some of these coins, tokens, they move up and down very fast. You understand? Compared to things like real estate and all those other things that you're probably used to. Okay. If you say you want to buy, look at Bitcoin now. Or Bitcoin says even too popular. One random small token. Before you know it, the thing has pumped. You get. Before you know it, in the short period of time, it has pumped. You see a lot of people making money, a whole lot of people losing money. You get. So you need to be very careful, in some of all these things. I mean, normally at least my first 3 years of entering Web3, I didn't trade. I don't trade. I made as much money as I wanted to make from doing what I know how to do best, which is what jobs. But I mean, it's probably 2 years ago I started trading and the rest, like properly trading. DeFi trading actually, because I've been doing the other side of things too, the futures and the rest. But DeFi trading properly, I started like 2 years back, and I have a whole lot of advantages. That's why I started trading. I don't just trade blindly. I don't just invest blindly. You get to a particular stage in your life where you might want to trade based on exponential returns, but you need to be very careful based on how far you've come. So and finally, there are no customer service in the DeFi space. If you lose your password, your private key, your access, nobody can help you recover it. You're the only person that can help yourself recover your funds. That's why you need to keep all these things safe. You would always hear keep your private key safe. There's a difference between private key and public key. I'll teach you guys in time to come. Don't go and give when they say give us your wallet address, you're not going to give them your private key. Wallet address is public key. Private key is what you should keep to yourself. Don't give people your private key. It's the same thing they'll say, don't give anybody your BVN, don't give anybody your NIN, don't give anybody your social security number or something. It is what's unique to you. You're supposed to hide it because some of all these things, people can use to gain access to your account. Don't give people your password. You get. So it's just like house address. When we get to that part, I'll explain to you guys some of all these examples I'm giving you. It's just like house address and house key. You can share your house address, but don't give your house key. All these things. So that's just how these things are. Because if you give your house key, they can access a whole lot of your valuables and all those things. But if you give your house address, they can just come around to your house. You get, and then looking for a way they want to penetrate your thingy. You get. So even you must even still be careful. People you're giving your house address. It's the same thing in this space. You understand? It's the same thing in this space. If you don't want to be monitored, you get, you shouldn't have given your house address because they can come around to monitor you. It's the same thing as your wallet address. If you don't want to be monitored on chain and the rest, then you shouldn't have given out your wallet address. You get, we can use your wallet address to monitor some of your activities on chain. You get, don't worry, with time you would understand all these things and I'll explain it properly to you. So, that being said, we've come to the end of this session. If you learned something, drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, share the link to someone you know that this particular session will help. All right. DeFi is literally out there coming to take your fiat, coming to take over the fiat. Let me also take your fiat so you don't get scared. So subscribe to all channels possible. Make sure you drop a comment, and I want to see you in the next video. Right. And if you learn something, drop it in the channel. Follow on Twitter, follow on TikTok. I have a whole lot of my lessons on TikTok, Twitter, my video lessons, business teachings for leaders and entrepreneurs amongst you. You can check them on TikTok, Instagram. A whole lot to help you shift your mindset. They call me the mindset master. Call me the man that likes to shake everywhere and the rest with little things I say. So if you want to be English, permit me, my God. If you want to be shook, Abi, if you want to be shaken, yes, this is a good school. So you can check all these platforms and then help yourself. So yeah. I'll see you in the next session. All right, bye.